Hello everyone, our YouTube viewers. Today we have a really special guest. It is our mom Sherry. Yeah, and he is founder of the Kectil program. Sherry,
Yes.
could you please tell us more about yourself? Introduce yourself, because I know the Kectil program, it is not your main job.
That is correct. I'm glad you said that. I'm a lawyer by trade. I'm an intellectual property attorney. I represent biotech and pharmaceutical companies, and I've been doing that work for many years. And I represent companies in the United States, in Europe, and even in other countries as they're developing new inventions to help us with our healthcare around the world.
Wow, that's really great. And could you share pre-history? What inspired you to start the Kectil program? How it was started? What challenges you faced in that time? And what new challenges right now you faced in the managing all of this huge program?
Okay, I think that's about 6 questions.
Let's
Okay, we'll start one at a time. Why did I start the Kectil program? Well, because I love youth, and I've done so much traveling around the world, and I've visited so many developing countries. I've met really inspiring youth who have great stories, who are doing great things, who are innovating, inventing, who are working in even to help policy changes in their country. And so because I had this unique perspective from my job as a lawyer of traveling all around the world and meeting all these wonderful people, I thought, what can I do with that? How can I put that together? So then I said, I wanted to think about putting together a program for youth at what I think is the most vulnerable age of their time, which is 17 to 26, around there, plus or minus. Because that's the time in a youth's life when they're deciding kind of what they're going to be for the rest of their lives. What is their career going to be?
Yes.
What are their big decisions they're going to make? Are they going to have big challenges? And some youth, unfortunately, take a left turn there and go in the wrong direction. And then they have some real challenges in their life. And that might be challenges even with mental health issues. It could be with drugs. It could be with addiction. It could be with depression. Or it could just be not knowing what you want to do, and therefore not being able to give all the wonderful gifts that you have to the world, right? So it comes in a range of issues. And so I thought, well, what would it be like if I put together talented youth in developing countries all over the world, and then let them talk to each other. Let them talk to each other. We don't necessarily have to give them all the answers, but let them talk to each other and give them probing questions and have them listen to what each other says about these probing questions. And then have them meet friends all over the world, and let them think about what they can contribute to the world while they're on this world. So that was kind of my dream.
Wow.
And actually I thought about it at the kitchen table in Atlanta. So I was thinking for a couple of years, I was just thinking, what could I do? What could I put together? I wanted to do a program. And all of a sudden, it just came to me like this. This is what I'm going to do. And the funniest thing was, I had no idea how to do it. I just said, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
How to connect 2,000 young leaders
all over the world.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to do that. And it started in I opened it up in 2016. The first program was 2017. I didn't know if anybody would come. You know, I put it out on the internet. We put it on, we just kind of let it be known, and we put it on some opportunity boards. And what we didn't know is these opportunity boards go viral because opportunity boards look at other opportunity boards to get these opportunities for youth around the world. So all of a sudden, we see the Kectil program popping up on opportunity boards all around the world. And I thought, wow, this is going to be fantastic. And the very first year, we had something over between 100 and 200 youth just come in and apply to the program. But I wanted more than that. So what I said, the very first assignment was that they had to recruit at least one person from their country. So we immediately doubled our enrollment.
Wow.
Which I thought was a great idea. And I said, I want you to pick someone who you think has a potential for a wonderful future who you get along with, who you can discuss some of these issues with that we're going to be discussing in Kectil. And then let's bring not just one person, but try to bring other people. So these initial people who joined Kectil in 2017 then were our seeds in all these countries, and then they started bringing other people in. I also took a trip to South Africa because I have great friends in Johannesburg.
Wow.
And then from there, I went to Kenya. And in Kenya, I visited Strathmore University, and we got introduced to some really, really good, wonderful youth leaders there coming out of Strathmore University. And they, some of them are still with us today, 7 years later.
I know Guguni.
You know Guguni.
Yes.
I know. We love Guguni. Yeah, Guguni has just stayed with us. And so it has worked out really, really well. And every single year it gets bigger. We make the program a little bit more challenging. We add more things. We have more leaders who want to speak. And I think it's just getting better and better. I'll have to hear from you. What do you think?
I think the same. The Kectil program brings a lot of impacts for youth from developing countries. The Kectil program helps support them in their way, career way, professional way, in their life, and help them to make really good things for their people, for their communities, and talk about what's going on right now in Ukraine, in Myanmar, in other countries. We sharing truth. We have platform when we can communicate, when we are able to be tolerant with others' religions, with other cultures, with other people. That's the main thing, because we have a lot of stereotypes in our world. Even in Ukraine, we have a lot of stereotypes regarding African people, for example, right? And Kectil program show us that that's not true that you're thinking. You need to change your way of mindset, how you think about this or that. Yeah. And Kectil, I was first girl from Ukraine. From me, I started Ukrainian history in the Kectil program.
Yes, you were. And that raises a really important point for Kectil, is we want youth talking to other youth around the world about what's happening in their countries, because we know that the press is not telling the truth most of the time. A lot of times it's biased. A lot of times the newspapers or the shows on TV or on the internet, they're owned by companies that have a view. So they're going to give you the news with a view. And we don't want that. We don't want pre-digested news. We want to know exactly what's going on the ground. So our Kectil colleagues all over the world, there are news reporters, and you're one of them.
Yes, we are doing this in our YouTube channel.
Congratulations. We're so proud, by the way, of Alexandra and everything she's done with the Kectil YouTube channel. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, is we have authentic conversations about real things that matter. For example, in Ukraine, you taught us a lot.
We have 2 podcasts about Ukraine. We have 1 video about Ukraine in our YouTube channel, and we're going to record more. We also, you also can find information on our YouTube channel about interviews with distinguished leaders around the world, about what's going on in different countries around the world. And also we have updated news each month regularly about what's going on in different countries around the world.
Oh, yeah. And I'm learning myself about it. We're learning about what's happening in Armenia. You know, there are real struggles in Armenia.
We will have an interview next week with Armenian guy who will share all information about politics things, what's going on, how structures works, how process works, what challenges they face. So we will record next week interview with one of our participants. So you will see in the further more information what's going on right now in Armenia.
Yeah, and we also are very concerned about what's going on in Myanmar, in Burma. Some people refer to it as Burma in Southeast Asia. It's the longest military war in the history of the world, and it doesn't get enough attention around the world. And their youth, they have wonderful, smart youth there who are hampered, who are paralyzed by just years and years and years of war, and they're just trying to live and try and get along with people. Their physical safety is at stake. Their mental safety and mental health is at stake. Their ability to go to school is at stake. We also have a wonderful, wonderful group of youth from Afghanistan. And here I am, I'm in the United States. Did I ever think that I would be talking with almost 200 youth from Afghanistan and have
Wow.
wonderful friends. And we actually get along great. And they are so inspirational because they're dealing with very difficult times there. And even in
Yeah.
Pakistan, they're dealing with some
And other
difficult
countries,
times.
African countries like Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Sudan,
Mhm.
they are also dealing with a lot of things that's
yeah.
going on right now in their countries.
Oh yeah. Sometimes I think of myself as the mother to the world.
And we call you mother, our mother.
That's right. That's right. You do. Yeah. And we have so many different offerings that youth can get involved with and listen to. We've got the wonderful YouTube channel that you're
Yes.
working on. And I really encourage all the people who are listening today to just spend lots of time on Alexandra's YouTube channel because it's so awesome. And she's so enthusiastic about it. And she's just first person out to get the news out and the stories out, and that's wonderful.
Not only about stories, not only about youth, you also are able to find information about grants, about business, social business, yeah, and about networking as well, how to build really quality networking in your life. So we're posting a lot of other videos instead of news and interviews.
Yeah.
And we are going to post other shorts after our conference that we were invited. Last week, yeah, we had conference.
We have taken so many videos in the past week. You can't even believe it, and you'll be seeing them soon.
Yes.
And they're wonderful. And by the way, this has been one of the best weeks of my life. Zambia is a gorgeous country. And the people here are so nice. They've been so welcoming and sweet, and they really, really want to advance. They want to advance their country. They want to think about how they can do it. They have some challenges. The cost of money here is very high. The interest rate goes up to 35%. So think about if you wanted to borrow money to start a new venture, to be an entrepreneur, how can you borrow 35%?
There will be huge percent.
You cannot do that. Yeah. And there are just a lot of struggles going on here. But you just see beautiful smiles on their faces. Happy. You know, our conference room was completely filled, and we could have had more. We could have doubled that if we had the space.
About 350.
We had 350, but we had almost 600 people apply from Zambia for the Kectil conference. That shows you what the enthusiasm is for a program like this. And we also know that some youth came up to us and said, you know, there are a lot of youth programs that come to Zambia, but Kectil is different.
Yeah.
Kectil is different. And they said, we've never been to a conference like this. And that made me feel really happy because we try to talk about authentic issues. We thought
give some values.
And give values, give ethics, give values, give opportunities, give tips, talk about what's happening, not just in the country we're in, but in countries around the world. And I think we accomplished that. And you were a big part of it too. Yes. And you spoke, you did a panel.
First panel in my life.
How'd you feel about that?
Oh, I was worried long time before that. Even still in Lithuania, when I prepared for this trip, I started worried about how will it goes, if I missed something, if I forgot something, and a lot of things went through my mind, and you know, everything were well.
Well, I'll tell everyone who's listening that Alexandra did an excellent job with her panel. She was so serious and she had such great questions and she let it flow so nicely. And I'm sure you can find it either on our Facebook site, maybe on your YouTube site.
Yes, we have saved conference video, live stream of conference video on our YouTube channel. You are able to see it, and please see it. Don't forget to leave your comments, ask our questions, put like and subscribe to our channel too.
Oh yes.